Hey guys, Dapper Dan with Dapper Dan Travel here to tell you a little bit about how we pack and the family that I have. I'm married and we have two kids that travel with us most of the time, have a 4-year-old now and a 2-year-old. So we're definitely taking strollers. So the first thing that I always do pre-trip is go in, check out the strollers. I know for the past year, this video being shot, haven't used the stroller a lot. We really don't use them a whole lot around town and here locally. One of the places, of course, we do use them is when we do travel to Disney. So a couple things when you're packing your stroller. Number one is making sure it is easy to fold up and fold down. I can't stress this enough, especially you dads that are going to be lugging these strollers, making sure that when you're at that bus stop or hopping on and off the bus, you can easily unfold it and fold it. And a bonus about a stroller, I'm going to tell you at the end of the video, so make sure you watch this entire video. I'm going to tell you a bonus about a stroller. But also on the strollers is making sure they are light. I can't tell you how many people I see every trip. Now, just to tell you a little also, we always bring our own stroller. We've not rented a stroller yet. Not that I think that is a bad idea, just something that we have not done because we like to have the stroller in the airport, at our local airport, but then also at the Orlando airport because it can be some of what of a walk and also getting on the tram and other things. So we like to have a stroller with us. So making sure it's light, especially at the parks, again, talking to you for a minute, dad or mom that may be lugging that stroller around, is making sure it's light enough, again, as you're picking it on and off the buses. Sometimes you're having to hold it on the buses. There's just a lot of things that go on with having a stroller and having kids, but making sure that stroller is light, easy to fold, and it has good wheels. Disney does a great job in theming, but there are brick roads, there are roads that are intentionally have cracks and different, elevations just to make it, feel as real as possible in the theming, which by the way, they do a great job, but it's really hard on strollers. So making sure your strollers are, rugged enough for this terrain. I wouldn't suggest, if especially you're gonna be putting a lot of weight on it. I know for us, not only we usually have our kid or kids in a stroller if it's a double stroller. We also have a cooler, going to talk about later. Sometimes we have a backpack and other, knickknacks and other things down the bottom of the stroller. So they can be carrying a lot of weight, and you're going to be using the stroller, 8 hours a day, sometimes even more. So your typical stroller that you use at home just on your, weekend trip to the mall or, around town, I'm just, again, word of advice, it may not be the stroller that you want to take to Disney because this stroller is going to get beat up. So having that good stroller. Sorry, I'm checking my notes here just to make sure I get everything that I have written down. And I mentioned for us, we always take a cooler. Something that we didn't do our first couple trips, and then we learned to take a cooler. Let me scooch this down a little bit. We always started taking a cooler, and it was really nice for us to be able to grab a soft side cooler. I usually grab one on Amazon, have it delivered, and then ended up, it's cheap enough, I just leave it at the resort, excuse me. But even if you want to, take one from your house, pack it in your luggage, that's okay too. Soft side coolers are just great because you can pack them for the day, and then at night, plan that you got nothing really left in that cooler, and you can take everything out and dump it, and then it's soft side cooler. You can squish it down and stick it wherever in the stroller or backpack or whatever. Things that we pack in our cooler, you may be going, what do you pack in your cooler, Daniel? Well, our kids love Gatorade. Our 4-year-old and 2-year-old both do not like sodas. They only like sweet tea and Gatorade. So we always pack some Gatorades in there. And then also a couple bottles of water for us. My wife likes to have a bottle of Coke every once in a while. So instead of paying the ridiculous prices of whatever they are at the parks, we pack a couple small little Coke bottles in there for her to have when she needs that caffeine fix. So always having that soft side cooler is also great. All right, next, stroller fans. I actually have some here, so let me get some out and show you. There are a bunch of different ones you can buy. I'm going to tell you the best ones, show you the best ones, and I'll actually give you guys the link in the description below to this particular one. We've used way too many of these things to count. We've thrown away way too many of these things for me to count. Now that me thinking about it makes me a little depressed of how much money we probably wasted in fans. But anyway, Disney's hot. Disney World, it is hot down there, humid. Your little ones in the strollers, they can get really sticky. There's not a lot of airflow down through there. As you can imagine, it's kind of a little cave, so to speak. So this is great to have to clip on the strollers, especially our 2-year-old has taken naps always at Disney. So we always clip 1 or 2 of these on as we're walking around and stuff, so we can keep going throughout the day and we don't have to pause when she takes a nap every time. So these are great. These are some name brand. Again, I'll leave the link down below, but these are really strong and the battery lasts really well too. They do come with a charger. So what we also, and one of the things I'll talk about and just mention right now, is a portable charger. One of the reasons why we take portable chargers is for our fans, but also our phones, any other electronics devices. Usually I'm carrying a GoPro, things of that nature as well. So we always keep the plug-ins for these to have, because you can actually, these will operate off a battery pack. So if you want to leave these on all day long, which you can, if you have a battery pack, you can plug them into the battery pack, boom, they're going to work for you all day long. These are also nice for when the kids are not using them or taking a break, the adults can get in a little fan as well. And let's see if it works. And the light comes on, but it doesn't work. I have another one. Let's see if this one works. Look there. Works right out of the, has, I don't know if you can hear that. I mean, it's giving off some pretty good airflow there. So, and it's still gonna go. All right, so fans. So also something really fun, we have done this in the past at Christmas time when we went, or around Halloween season when they're doing some type of specialty party or have the parks decorated. But I found our kids love it no matter when we go, because Disney, it's magical. It's, you know, a great place. And so you're celebrating no matter when you go, because you're at one of the happiest places, if not the happiest place on earth. Then have some stroller lights for your kids. It kind of, they love it. I know our son, he absolutely loves to have the stroller lights. So again, we usually buy one on Amazon, just a cheap LED rope light that runs off batteries. Usually the one I also purchase has a remote, so it can actually go through and change colors and do different things. So again, the kids love it at night as you're walking through the parks. And really a bonus for this is for your parents, that when you are going to ride a ride or you're on a show and you come back and Disney's moved your stroller. Yes, I said that right. Disney will move your stroller. So sometimes when you go in, you've parked your stroller in a certain spot, but to keep stroller parking, you know, at you know, the max they can, because there's always, you know, flow going through. There's usually a couple cast members that will move your strollers around to make room for everybody parking. And one of the best ways to find your stroller, especially at night, usually during the day, you know, you can kind of point your stroller by a bag you have hanging on it or something, but at night, these parks are dark and you can not really hard to find your stroller in some of these parts. So I always keep that remote in my pocket or fanny pack or somewhere, backpack, that I take with me, and then I can turn it on and it's easy to find your stroller. All right, another one is this behemoth of a thing right here. This is a stroller rain guard. We went through quite a few of these. I always buy them on Amazon. I usually look up and try to find one that's kind of a universal fit for whatever stroller we're taking. We have taken double stroller, side by sides. We've taken strollers, the longer ones like the limo style double strollers. We've taken a bunch of single strollers because my son went quite a few times before our daughter was born. And then our last trip, we actually had 2 strollers. So me and my wife both pushed a stroller. But anyway, we always have rain guards because another thing at Disney World you're going to find in Florida, not only is it hot, it rains a lot. And while the weatherman may wake up and say it's only a 30% chance of rain, usually for some reason that 30% chance of rain finds the Disney parks. So even if it rains for 15-20 minutes, you don't want it to spoil your entire vacation or entire vacation day or park day because your stroller gets soaking wet, your kid doesn't want to sit in it, so now you're carrying around your child and you're pushing a stroller as well. It can make for headaches. So we always just, if there's any chance of rain, every time we leave the stroller outside, we just put it over because you can walk in a ride and it only takes 15-20 minutes or a show, and you walk back out and it is pouring down rain. So just a word of advice, grab one of those stroller rain guard covers. It will definitely save the day. All right, ponchos. So these ponchos I actually also got on Amazon. They fit in this little bag. I have one, my wife has one. We take these, I usually just pack them in the backpack. There's a few days I won't take mine because, or my wife won't take hers. We also do take rain jackets, so that's also on my list, ponchos and rain jackets. And we usually pack all of them every day because these, I don't know, maybe there's some really good ones out there. I've not had a poncho yet. We've had these for a couple years. We went through some. We went through the Disney ones before because we got there and didn't plan for a poncho and ended up having to buy a park one. But if it rains for 30 minutes an hour and you're out walking around, these things still get wet and you get wet. Now, albeit you don't get as wet as you would if you didn't have it on, but you still get wet. So we usually always take a backup. So we take our rain jacket. We have Under Armour, North Face, just some type of rain jacket, that you can put on, Columbia, that you can wear as well. Because even also, sometimes it's not pouring down rain. It's just raining enough to be annoying and you don't want to get soaking wet. You can just put that rain jacket on and you don't have to wear one of these because these are hot. Okay. Rain jacket, ponchos. We're almost got everything out of the rain, but also an umbrella. I got this one, I believe, on Amazon as well. I had delivered to the resort. I'll mention that here in just a little bit as well. Some different things that you can do to save on packing and weight, but this is very convenient. I like the small compact ones because you can slide them down in the bottom of your stroller. But we also have got a couple big ones before that are longer, that are just cheaper. I usually just get on Amazon or whatever delivery service that I'm using, or multiple delivery services. And a lot of times you find that these things are all out of stock at Disney, depending on the season as well, and how busy the parks are when you go. So you can go and so if you have these at home, I would take at least one, because as I said, if it's just barely raining, you don't want to get everything out and get everything wet and back and forth. So you can pop the umbrella over, and it's really good too for the kids, because I know sometimes, especially our kids, they're not huge fans of the rain guard when they're in the stroller. It is really hot then, but also they just like to hit it and make a big mess. So sometimes I'll just have the umbrella and kind of hold the umbrella over them as well in those light rain situations. So they're still getting some air. They're not messing with the rain guard, but they're also covered from the rain. All right, let's get into some other specific things besides rain. I feel like we've been on rain forever, but I can't stress enough how annoying it can be when it is raining in Disney and you've not prepared. So prepare. All right, moving on. Portable charger, I've already mentioned, but I'm going to mention again. Take a portable charger or a couple portable chargers. You want to make sure that you always have charge. You don't want to ever have to. I see people every trip that we go to Disney, they're hovering around a plug-in, charging their phone or something. And you don't want to be, limiting your vacation time because it is so precious when you're at Disney. You want to take, advantage of every moment, and you don't want to be limited to having to take a break or, sitting around a charger just because you have to charge your phone or some other device. Make your breaks intentional, and doing them because you want to take a break, not because you have to take a break because of something you forgot. So you can grab these everywhere. Again, I have two that I carry. I bought them both on Amazon. I'll put the link below on the ones I have. The one of them is I believe a 20,000, which is really big. I'm not sure on all the battery things, but it's really nice, and it always lasts a couple charges with my wife's phone, my phone, and then I usually hook it up to the GoPro to charge batteries if needed as well. So portable charger, we've mentioned that a couple times. Water bottles, we always take a couple of the Yeti water bottles that have the screw lids. We have a couple that we take. We've also have one that we purchased at Walmart that was, of course, half the price or less than half the price that I carry as well. So we always put water in those, and then also we can refill them in the park because Disney, as of recording this December 2020, has really, I wouldn't say cracked down or discouraged, but because of everything going on with COVID, they're really limiting the amount of water where they give it out at their quick service locations. They're trying to keep people from just walking in. They really want people to mobile order, and since you can't mobile order just a cup of water, there's some places that I've read on some blogs and other posts and stuff that they are telling people they can't come in and even get water. So when you sit down for a quick service location, if you have your Yeti or big bottle of water, you can refill that while you're there, and then you're not limited again to going and just stopping by and getting some water at a certain place and hope they let you in. And then also at just about every park, they have these refillable water stations. So probably most of you seen these in airports and other places. A lot of water stations have these now, where you can actually refill a big jug of water. All right, moving on. The kids cups. So they're very similar to Yeti cups. They're called Simply Modern. We have purchased quite a few of these, not necessarily all by choice. Our sons lost a couple, left them at restaurants, and I guess that's our fault. We sometimes forget to make sure we take everything with us that we brought. A couple of them have been left at Disney, but these are really, really nice Disney cups. They're very similar to Yeti's kids cup that they kind of come out with. I know they're around 30 bucks. These are about half that price, and they're Disney themed, so they're metal, they're double wall insulated, and as of recording this again, they just come out with a whole new Disney theme. They have cars, they have Disney princesses, they have Frozen, Mickey and Minnie, of course. They have a lot that you can choose from. So we have a couple of these for each of our kids that we can use and clean every night. We just kind of swap back and forth through them. One of the good things is, even though I said that we've left some of them, if a kid drops them, they are metal, so they make a really loud sound. So that kind of helps in knowing if your kid dropped their cup or not. And again, going through the parks, people everywhere, you can lose a cup real easy by just having it drop. You didn't hear it. So having the metal cups is nice. They're cheap. Your kids, I say cheap, 15, 16 bucks. But they're really nice. They hold really good. They keep stuff cold. So they really work well. We use them on a daily basis, even around our house. That's the kids' cups that they choose every time they go into our pantry. But it also is always the cups we take to the Disney parks. Okay, shoes. Actually, before our first time going to Disney, I was just doing a little research, and I'll be honest, if you're watching this video and you've not been to Disney, you're already doing way more research, and great for you than I did our first trip going to Disney. We didn't have kids yet, but I didn't do a whole lot of research. I did see where people were talking about making sure you have good shoes, good walking shoes, that you're going to walk a lot. I know on our trips, usually we average anywhere from 5 to 10 miles a day. Yes, I said that, 5 to 10 miles a day, pushing a stroller, cooler, all the other heavy stuff, backpacks, 5 to 10 miles a day. It can be a marathon, right? So with that, you want to make sure you have good shoes. So would not purchase new shoes for your trip unless you're going to wear them prior to going. I'm actually going to put, crazy enough as it sounds, all the shoes that are out there, and I'm no, by any means a shoe expert. I've owned quite a few tennis shoes in my day, but definitely don't consider myself a shoe expert. There was a walking like trail shoe that I found on Amazon just by looking about a month before we went on our trip in September. I purchased them. They are awesome. They're amazing. They almost feel like you're not wearing a shoe at all, but they have enough cushion at the bottom that it was really nice. So I'll again put that link to those down there below. I actually bought two pair, and then my father-in-law actually bought a pair and wore them to Disney. He liked them as well. They're just really soft. They're meant for trail hiking, and crazy enough, that's pretty close to what you're doing a lot of times at Disney. Elevation changes, and like I mentioned earlier with the stroller, there's different types of roads and other things, so it's pretty close to trail hiking. So those are really nice. But also, if you just got a really comfortable pair of tennis shoes, I would say take those. But take a pair of sandals. We take Chacos. If you're not familiar with Chacos, look them up. They're, a pretty comfortable sandal. They are very heavy. The first time I bought mine, the guy here in town at our place that sells Chacos and other things like that, he told me that you don't break Chacos in, Chacos break your feet in. Sorry. He said, you don't break Chacos in, Chacos break your feet in. And wow, was he right. The first few times I wore them, I thought I was going to throw them in the trash and burn them, or burn them and throw them in the trash, whichever way you would do that. My feet killed me, but taking them to Disney, and then also just, kind of getting my feet broke into them, I do like them, because the reason why I say take some sandals, it does rain. As we've mentioned, half the stuff we've talked about has been rain guards and ponchos and umbrellas. So your feet, you don't want to get wet. If you don't like sandals, take an extra pair of tennis shoes, just a lot more to lug around. We usually just pop in some flip-flops or something in our bag. If it rains, we slide them on. We'll wear them until it stops raining, and then all the water drains off, because a lot of places, just about every park has bad drainage issues when it rains, downpours for a long time, because you're in the swamp, you're below sea level, and there's hardly any place for the water to go. So it takes a little bit. So we kind of let all the water go, and then we'll put our tennis shoes or whatever we're wearing back on, but we do have kind of a rain pair of shoes. All right. I'm also going to mention a couple things here as we wrap up, guys. So a backpack, take a good backpack. We've taken a few. I am pretty partial to Under Armour backpacks, but there's a lot of good backpacks out there. So if you got one that has, I like a big compartment, and then I'd like to have a few little small other compartments to put things like all of our phone charge cords and all the cords for the fans and everything in one spot, and then your portable charger, if you can fit your ponchos and stuff and little things. So having a little bit of organization, but you also don't want, this huge, gigantic backpack that you're carrying around too. So have a good backpack, waterproof backpack. That's what I would suggest. Good waterproof backpack. That's the thing that I would definitely say. And oddly enough, I, as shooting this Daniel Abbott, Dapper Dan, am going to say a fanny pack. And if I would have heard anybody say a fanny pack going to Disney in the first few trips we went, I would have said, you're crazy. I will never wear a fanny pack until I bought a fanny pack. I bought one 2 years ago, I guess it was now, at Under Armour. They just had a few. I purchased it, and now every time I'm at the park, I have it on. It is so nice to have something that you can put your phone, wallet, gift cards, or whatever you're paying with down in that fanny pack, and you can leave your backpack on your stroller. It's another crazy thing to really think about, but one thing that maybe you may be surprised when you go to Disney. I know I was, and sometimes it still blows me away, the stuff people leave on their strollers, and I'm one of those. Disney, it's kind of the happiest place in the world. I mean, not to say that some things don't happen there. Bad things happen, right? But it's an amazing place where you'll see people leaving bags of toys and other things. So we usually leave everything on our stroller, and I just take my wallet or phones and stuff that God forbid somebody did steal our stroller, or we misplaced our stroller or something, we would at least have our phones and money and other things that we would have to have. That way you can leave everything. You're not lugging around a backpack and other things, ride to ride, or in a show. So having that fanny pack's really nice. Also, Ziplocs and different size of Ziplocs. So take Ziplocs, gallon size, half gallon size, the little sandwich bags. We take multiple. Sometimes, again, we've ordered them and we've also just packed them in our bag, but it's nice to put your phone charge cable, it's nice to put your phone charger, cables, and all your cables in one, and having things that you definitely don't get it wet, God forbid your backpack zipper is not closed right and it rains and you get some water in there. You definitely want to have a backup system of things that you cannot get wet, batteries and other electronics that you can stick in there and stick in those Ziploc bags so it doesn't get wet. And then it's also just nice to, we put, my daughter, we take the bottle, and so when she's done with the bottle, instead of sticking it back in the cooler, get nasty, I usually rinse it out, stick it in a Ziploc bag. So we use Ziplocs all the time for everything. Organization is really nice to have in that backpack, especially if you just have one big zipper. You can organize stuff with Ziplocs and keep things wet. Another good reason to have Ziplocs right now, of course, is to keep your mask in there. And take multiple masks, different kinds of masks, because you don't know which one maybe is your favorite yet, or you're going to be wearing it again all day, because masks are required in the parks again as of shooting this December 2020. So you want to make sure that you take multiple masks, and you can put them in those Ziplocs to keep them clean and making sure they're sanitized. Now, a couple things that I've mentioned in this video that you may be going, well, what are you talking about being delivery service? So we have used really, I would say 4 or 5 different delivery services to our Disney resorts and hotels. We have used Instacart, we have used Garden Grocery, we've used Amazon, and we used Walmart. We've used them all. We love them all. Usually what it boils down for me is just price, right? What can I get that I need at of course, the time that I need it, the time we're going to be there, but also the price. I don't want to be paying double the price for something I can get at Walmart or on Amazon just because it's being delivered to my room. I don't want to pay 60-70% more or even double more just because I'm getting delivered. So I usually shop around a little bit, find out what we need and who has the best prices. Usually that is, of course, Walmart and Amazon, but there are some other delivery services that are available that you can use. I just mentioned a couple. By the way, this video or none of this I'm talking about is being, sponsored or anything like that. So this is definitely just an unbiased opinion. and we have used them all. We've liked them all. We've had no trouble with any delivery service at all. And really what you do, for an example, Walmart, you can go on Walmart on the app or Amazon, you type in, get the location of your hotel or resort you're staying at, get your address, you put that in there. You pick your day. For an example, like Walmart, you can pick your day of when you're arriving, your time. And we've had really some different experiences over the past year because Disney has changed their policy. And when they change their policy, not always do you know. So you want to make sure that you're aware. And one of the best ways to be aware, I'll talk about in just a few minutes, of all the policy changes, is, when you're delivering something or, traveling to Disney World, just again, kind of keeping up with everything Disney's doing. But one thing they did change recently is some of their delivery services now they do charge for. I've researched and got a bunch of different mixed reviews and personally had different experiences at different resorts. I've been charged $6 for having them hold my groceries, whether that means we were gone to the park or we hadn't actually got to our resort yet from the airport and they went ahead and delivered our groceries. We've had our groceries been turned away at resorts saying they can't deliver them without us physically being there. And so we have to reschedule. And then we've also had them hold our groceries and not been charged. And some of these were even at the same resort. So I really think it depends on what resort you're at and who's working at the resort. You can be charged a fee if you're not there. Now, if you are planning on, and this is what normally I always do, is try to schedule the delivery the day we arrive, about 2 hours after we land. That usually gives us plenty of time to get there, get to our resort, and we're usually not waiting very long, the most an hour, and that time we can spend unpacking and doing other things in our resort room if we, of course, have it available. If not, you could do it the next morning. We've done that as well, where the first full day we're there, we've had groceries delivered between 8 and 9 a.m., and then we get all the groceries that morning, and we head off to the park after we get those. So just giving you a couple of examples of what you guys can do. It can really, probably one of my biggest tips for going to Disney is getting groceries delivered. Even if you're only staying there 4 or 5 days or, just a couple days, it can be a huge savings for you and your family getting groceries delivered to your resort versus buying things in the park. I mean, things like bottled water, things like sodas, snacks can be a huge expense that you may have not been planning spending a lot of money on, that when you get there, those things are very expensive at Disney. So you can get them delivered and you can carry those things in the park. Like I said, you can carry a cooler, you can carry your own water, your own soda, your own snacks for your kids, Gatorades or whatever their drink of choice is. You can carry those in and then not have to pay for them in the parks. And then the occasion when you want to buy a Mickey ice cream bar or other things, it's a lot easier to spend that money on those things when you're not buying $3 or $4 Cokes, a couple times a day, because again, that stuff can add up. So I told you guys I was going to give you a bonus on the stroller, and since you stuck around, number one, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got a lot of great information, and it's going to help you and your family have a wonderful vacation. But my bonus for the stroller is underneath the stroller, look at the storage compartment, and if you can keep things stored in the storage compartment as you fold the stroller, it can be a huge kind of hand saver, so to speak. I know for me and my wife, when we are getting ready to get on a bus or off the bus, usually I've got the stroller, I'm carrying everything. My wife has the kids. We've also, sometimes when kids, are in their certain times and they're like, hey, I want daddy or whatever, and one of them wants me, well then I've got one, she has one, and I'm still trying to carry the stroller. It can be really nice to be able to have things in the stroller and just pick up the stroller and things are already down in there. So I know we've had different strollers, again, as I told you guys through the years. So some of those, when you put them in the bottom of the stroller, things will slide out, and then so you can't keep things in there. But there's some of them that when they fold, they'll keep, you know, some small things like your ponchos, rain jackets, stuff like that. And again, if you're having to carry those things, just those couple things or a couple Disney souvenirs, can really save you time and also some headache when you're getting on and off the buses. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share to this channel. I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of Disney tips and information about Disney to help you and your family have a wonderful vacation. So if you know anybody going to Disney World soon, be sure to share this video with them. And then also make sure, if you're going to Disney World or you know somebody going to Disney World, they work with a travel agent. As I've mentioned a couple times in this video as well, Disney is always changing their policies. I mean, almost on a daily basis. And you know, if you have a vacation booked 6 months from now, a year from now, or even further out, you can be sitting around and having that vacation booked and be really looking forward to your vacation. But between now and then, a lot of things can change. And if you're not, looking at all social media, following the right blogs, following the right channels, and really in tune with what Disney is doing, you can get to your Disney vacation and things can be totally different. I can't tell you how many times we have been on vacation and seen multiple people on the same trip. You know, different people have, you know, frustrations because they didn't know how the fast pass system worked. They didn't know they needed advanced dining reservations. They didn't know that this particular stroller couldn't go in the parks. And there's just, again, a lot of moving parts. So if you're working with a travel agent, you know, number one, it's completely free to you. You're not going to be spending any more money than you would if you were booking it yourself. But you're getting the expertise, the knowledge, and then also you're getting somebody to really kind of watch your vacation for you and help you plan that perfect Disney vacation, because you spent a lot of money going to Disney. Whether you're going for a couple days or you're going for a couple weeks, you spend a lot of money, and you want to make sure that you and your family have that perfect vacation, and making sure that the money that you spent, you have the magical experience that you want. So if you're not working with a travel agent, I would love to help you book your Disney vacation. You can head on over. One of the links down below will be to my page that you can send some information to me. I will send you a free quote. You can look at it. We can talk about it, and we can make sure that you and your family have the perfect Disney vacation. So thank you so much, guys. Again, like, subscribe, and share this video with everybody you know. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.